We'll call the meeting to order. Start with roll call. Morgan Brown.
Here.
Dave Wallbrenner.
Here.
Becky Engel.
Here.
Jeremy Weller.
Here.
Jan Weichert.
Here.
Christina Shark is here. Brian Jones is absent tonight. Next is adoption of agenda and declaration of a quorum.
Hey, Christina, I'd like to make a motion to remove, under letter H, remove items C and G, I believe to January. So I'd make a motion to remove C and G on the agenda.
We have a motion. Do we have a second with the amendment?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes with that amendment to the agenda. Next is citizen speak. I do not have any green cards. Next is employee recognition.
Tonight, we're excited to recognize our homeschool program, and you may be asking who we're recognizing in our homeschool program. We're actually taking this opportunity to recognize all of our homeschool people because they were all nominated for the Employee of the Month award. So.
Our Employee of the Month recipients are selected from nominations submitted through an online form. Each month, a committee chooses up to 5 recipients to include who meet the criteria, continuously demonstrating going above and beyond for our students, staff, and parents. We welcome you to submit your nomination through our online form found under quick links on our website at ottumwaschools.com. And tonight, we're honoring the Homeschool Assistance Program. This group was recently nominated by a parent for their hard work and dedication to making a difference in our district. Jennifer Rogers is a teacher who's been with the district for 4 years. Becky Zeidolf has been teaching here for 6 years. Melissa Carpenter brings 15 years of experience to her role as a teacher. Courtney Jacobs, a teacher, has been with the district for 4 years. Christy Basquette is an associate and has been employed by the district for 4 years, and Heather Burgess, an associate, has been in her role for 10 years. The entire staff goes above and beyond to create meaningful experiences where our homeschooled kids can learn from their families, peers, and the world around them. Their dedication to the students they serve creates a nurturing and supportive environment that fosters both academic and personal growth. The Homeschool Assistance Program offers consultation and support through certified K-12 instructors. Their commitment to individualized learning and strong community connections has been instrumental in the program's remarkable growth, expanding from just 35 students in 2015 to nearly 110 students in 2024. This growth is a testament to the team's hard work, passion, and ability to adapt to the evolving needs of our families. Their dedication continues to make a lasting impact on the lives of students and families alike. Congratulations.
Okay, next up is the consent agenda.
Motion to adopt. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Next is an action item. Board priority, we will promote and monitor growth in student achievement, and all students will be challenged with high expectations that will meet or exceed measurable targets. Our one action item here is the high school program of studies.
We have a group coming up to present that.
So we're going to start our high school updates tonight with members of the high school OHS Student Council. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they've been doing at OHS.
All right, my name is Griffin Hayek. I'm a sophomore, and I'm the student council president.
Hello, I'm Daniel Sierra. I'm in 10th grade, and I'm a member of student council.
Hello, my name is Heath Proctor. I'm also a sophomore.
All right, the first thing I want to talk about today is in the beginning of the year, we reorganized our new and improved concession stands. This consisted of new products, prices, and protocols. Well, that's important. I really want to note the benefits of this. It teaches all of us who don't really have a lot of job experience these job skills, and it also provides lots of funding for our student council and our future projects.
During the football season, we worked hard to make pep assemblies fun and exciting. We highlighted the different clubs and groups at OHS and their passion for their specialties. These assemblies helped students come together, and it improved school spirit. We plan on hosting 2 more pep assemblies, one at the end of the winter and another at the end of spring. We will be celebrating the seniors within the experiences for each season.
Another course of action that the high school has taken this fall is taking over the Fall Festival, which the OHS IJAG previously hosted. So this was an event for children and charity. So at the end of the event, we took whatever leftover natural products and we gave those to the Blank Park Zoo.
Next thing I wanted to talk about is we are currently planning our winter formal, and we separate this into 5 committees: the social promo, community relations, money making, spirit and pride, and building and grounds. The important things of these is it lets our initiatives be student-led and include a lot of student input. So our whole winter formal, everything will be student-led, and that's what's really important about our committees for each event.
Our main goal this year is to improve student atmosphere. We will continue to promote clubs and variety of activities to get students involved. This includes student-led initiatives, incentives, and more engaging spirit weeks.
Continuing into the spring, the Student Council hopes to continue doing charity events throughout the community because that is one of the core values of the OHS Student Council is community service. I'd also like to thank all of you members of the board for having us today.
Do you guys have any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I just want to say that the student council this year has tripled in size. We have Caitlin Salmons and Carly Aljets as our supervisors or chaperones for student council, and they have really worked to increase the number of students that are participating. So it's been great to have them be so active at OHS. Okay, so I think we'll go to the next slide. We are ready for updates from OHS. So for the fall, we always give a panorama survey. We give it in the spring and we give it in the fall. And there's 3 parts to it. There's the family community survey, there's the staff survey, and there's also the student survey. And so I just looked at the data from spring to fall and looked at some of the greatest growth that we had. So from the family perspective, we saw at OHS a 10% increase in the school safety perception, and I attribute a lot of that to the fact that we have decreased the number of students at OHS and a much it just feels much smaller, and I think that has really helped with the school safety perception. The staff survey, we saw a 12% increase in their sense of belonging, and I think, again, that's probably due to smaller groups and their PLCs working together, and really, we've been focusing a lot on PLCs and growing those and making those stronger, and I think that that's probably attributed to that as well. And then a 5% increase in school leadership. From the student perspective, we had 3 areas that all showed a 2% increase. School climate was one of them, rigorous expectations was another, and school safety. So all 3 of those showed an increase from the student perception. And so those are all areas that we look at because that's hearing directly from our stakeholders, all the different groups, and so those are really important pieces for us. The other thing I just wanted to pull, and you've heard us talk about graduation rate, but I just wanted to show kind of the growth of the past 5 years. The first thing I'll say is I just pulled this from the Iowa School Performance Profile, but the data is always 1 year behind. So like 2020 on the Iowa School Performance Profile, our graduation rate was 86.6. But that would have been the class of 2019. So they're always a year behind. So you can see how it kind of, it went up, it went back down, and then it dropped a little bit more. And then now in our most recent Iowa School Performance Profile, we're at 91% is our graduation rate. And there's been a lot of hard work done at OHS, but I also want to say a special thank you to the board for their commitment to alternative education, because we know that there are students that had they not had an alternative option, they wouldn't have graduated from OHS. And so it's just it's the whole district working together that has really shown an increase in our graduation rate. And we hope, we anticipate that 91% will go up a few more percent as well for this next year. So continuing to work on that graduation rate. And sometimes when you work hard on graduation rate and your chronic absenteeism, things like that, you worry about your dropout rate, and our dropout rate has actually gone down as well. So very proud of those numbers and the growth that we're seeing.
The building goals all kind of are integrated with the use of and creation of proficiency scales for the essential standards. Not only are the teachers creating those and using those to rate the students on their proficiency, they're also teaching the students to rate themselves on their proficiency so the students can kind of see what they might need extra help on. We're using our connections time for teachers to pull students in to get that small group or one-on-one help. In doing that, the students are able to either ask for help or the teacher can schedule them. We're also working on decreasing chronic absenteeism by making those connections with the students who might not have an adult connection at school, building strong relationships with students and parents as well.
Then the last thing is just thinking about, as we have become a 10-12 building, and what are we working on and what do we want to see for the future of OHS? So when we sit down and we think about those things, one of the big things we're working on, and you'll hear a little bit about it through the Program of Studies presentation, but we are working really hard to increase the opportunity for rigorous instruction. And I really liked it when I saw that the students we made an increase in rigorous expectations, because that is very important as we become a 10-12 building. There's no reason that we can't. So we want to continue to increase those through additional dual enrollment, AP and pre-AP courses, and those have grown this year. We want to really work hard on the work-based learning. That is a big part of preparing all kids for either college or directly into the workplace. We have opportunities and things that we're building right now for more internships, pre-apprenticeships, and things like that. So IJAG is a big part of that. So we're working on those opportunities for students, not only because if they don't want to go directly to college, preparing them for the workplace, but also to give them the opportunity so they aren't one of those students that goes to college and then changes their major 3 times because they had no experiences with anything in high school, so then they don't know what they want to do. They change the major, it costs them more money, and lots of things like that. So we really hope that these work-based learning opportunities will decrease that and help our kids be better prepared for college. And then, as Angie had mentioned a little bit ago, just really focusing on that every student at OHS can say, yes, I have a connection with an adult here at OHS, and we know that will help with their sense of safety and emotional well-being and just their being well-rounded individuals. We really want to see them involved in some activities and that type of thing. So when we look ahead, those are the big things we want to see for OHS.
Good evening. It's nice to see all of you. I'm taking Erin's spot tonight, and so we can rock and roll. We'll share with you some information about Gateway High School. I'd like to also thank you for Gateway High School. It's the best place on earth. It's the hardest, most rewarding job I've ever had in my life, and it's very important to a lot of people. So thank you. Our program values are caring, sustained relationships, ongoing and achievable goals, realistic and hopeful pathways, engaging school and community settings. I feel like August lasts 1 year, and then the rest of the year takes 2 weeks. So we graduated 119 students last year with our summer school grads, and already we have 44 graduates for the 24-25 school year. Just to give you an idea of how many credits we earned last year, 2021 was the first year I worked in the program, and I was lucky enough to have 1 year of trend data. So if you look all the way to the right to 23-24, we were thrilled, very proud of ourselves that we had 638 credits for quarter one last year from 271 students. And then this year, go ahead, we have 1,200 credits for quarter one by 203 students. So fewer kids, doubled the number of credits. We have a lot of seniors this year, and they are locked in. And we'll probably, I'd say by the end of the semester, have 10 more graduates. We also had, for first quarter, 95 work-based learning credits. That's something that we're starting to track, just like the high school is. Go ahead. And just to give you an idea of our numbers at Gateway High School, we have 223 students, Ottumwa virtual learning, 116, and then we do have 18 Job Corps students who are earning a Gateway High School diploma also. Meadow Ream is our mental health interventionist, and we have her track monthly data. I can't stress enough what a difference she makes for our students. We feel chewed up by the crisis intervention column, but she has intention, and we're starting small groups after Christmas. So that just gives you an idea of how many students she's serving on a regular basis right now. Some of the challenges that we're working on for this school year, we're applying our attendance MTSS, working on our designation for ESSA. We continue to work on this responsible cell phone use. It has been unbelievably smooth, but it can always get better, always. Also really working on substance abuse awareness and intervention. Meadow's actually getting her certification in that area so that we can serve the students who have intense needs in that area. Also, we're working on increasing instructional rigor through Marzano scales, rubrics, and instructional strategies. It's what we do during our PLC time. And then we continue to intensely build relationships to deter our dropout rate. Looking forward, we are also solidifying work-based learning experiences, pathways for every student. And the only thing I would add is that we do have a handful of kids right now interested in the military, in addition to everything that Shelley was talking about. And we also have the fire department coming down in January to talk to our students about an apprenticeship program, and kids are so excited. Enhancing work experience alongside our community partners, and then working on achievement gains as demonstrated through our ISASP in April, and continuing to problem solve to improve student attendance.
All right, so we've done a lot of work across the district of aligning our program of studies, not just at Ottumwa High School or at Gateway, but at 612. And we knew that this was really the year for that, to look at that vertical alignment as programs and in content areas, as opposed to just kind of doing this siloed building work. We have a lot of kids that are in multiple spots, and so it just makes sense as we reconfigure to do that. And so, and you heard it in both presentations, a big part of that work is what does rigorous and relevant coursework look like for kids? And we know that that comes in by ensuring that kids have access to rigorous courses. And so through 6th through 12th grade, we've built alignment in every single content area and in the essential standards of those pathways. And so we've added courses like pre-AP Bio, pre-AP Visual and Performing Arts, pre-AP Algebra 2. So those will all be in the program of studies, either at Evans or at Ottumwa High School in the next school year. We've also expanded our advanced placement course offerings just as a whole, AP Physics, AP Environmental Science, AP Human Geography. We have AP Spanish already. We're adding AP French, and then we're going to add an AP Music Theory course. And then the other big part of that, as you heard, was those work-based learning experiences. Both advanced placement, concurrent enrollment, and work-based learning are all things that get reported out on our school performance profiles. And we know that's not just at the high school, but how do we prepare kids for that all the way starting in 6th grade? And so that's just a huge focus area. And I think a big need in our community that we see that we're developing out right now too is a health sciences line. We have some courses at the high school, but we're aligning that with our Indian Hills courses, and we've also built out courses 7th through 12th, or 7th, 8th, and 9th grade to build into that, so kids are prepared to take that advanced coursework at the high school. So those are the biggest changes, is just the addition of those rigorous courses, the addition of those work-based learning experiences in every one of our pathways, and that kind of sums that up. You guys want to add anything? Do you have questions for us?
No questions on 86 pages, I'm sure you will.
Thank you. This is listed as an action item. We'll need a motion to approve the material that was presented.
I make a motion, we approve.
Second.
We have a first and a second. Is there any other discussion or questions for the presenters? If not, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. Thank you, Maria and Shelley. Next up, board priority to be the best. We will create a positive learning and working culture for our stakeholders and embrace our community partners through communication and transparency. There's one action item here. There are 5 policies that have their second reading.
If there's no questions, I'd make a motion, we approve the second reading of all 5.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? If not, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. Next, board priority through the board's financial stewardship, we will provide operations, technical, and curricular resources to staff, teachers, and administrators so that all students have consistent and sustained achievement. We have several action items here. The first one is a resolution tentatively approving the plan's specifications, form of contract, and estimate of total costs for the Ottumwa High School HVAC control replacement project, and setting the time, date, location for a hearing therein, and further authorizing the post of a notice seeking competitive bids. Dave.
Thank you. Yes, this project will replace all our control systems at OHS, along with all our data cabling throughout the building to control the system. So this project is estimated around $750,000. This would follow just like the next two resolutions. There'll be a pre-bid meeting in early January. We'll have sealed bids January 21st, and then we'll bring those sealed bids to the board, the second board meeting in January.
Are there any questions for Dave? We could probably do A, B, and C together. Do you want to do B?
Yes, ma'am. Excuse me. Our Phase 2B, our last major project hurdle at the high school, this will go out to bid. We'll have a pre-bid meeting, and sealed bids will be on January 21st. This project is estimated at around $3,600,000. I have a few slides for the board to review real quick. This is just an overview of the areas that will impact on this next phase at the high school. The first floor will have some public toilets off the cafeteria, dedicated for that, renovating some JRTC rooms, and then the art room also in the main building. Along with the second floor, our orchestra, band, and chorus areas, along with some show choir, and there's general ed classroom there. And then really the last piece of that, along with that, will be our fourth floor, last science lab that we have located on the fourth floor. So I'll kind of go to this next slide here. This shows you our art rooms on the first floor. We'll have a 2D art room, and then we'll have a 3D art room. With at the end of the art room, we'll have all our potter wheels and our kiln there with it. So we've worked closely with the staff at the high school to go over these projects, and we're really fine-tuned down what they need, and we're excited about able to go out for bid for this. This is just a rendering of what the 2D art room would look like. Here would be a rendering of the 3D, and then, storage there in between the two art rooms. The next piece will be our second floor of the CTE building. This is our orchestra, band, and chorus areas. We're really excited about this because this will, let me go back one. This will double our orchestra space in that area. We'll also increase our band area and then also our chorus areas too. And in the center, that bluish shaded area, those will be band storage and also individual practice rooms for. That's something that we've been severely lacking over the last few years, is some individual practice rooms for our students. So this is just a typical rendering of what the band area and orchestra would potentially look like with storage along the walls. Another one for the orchestra. And then along the hallways, you'll see our practice rooms along there. So, and then our last project is on the fourth floor in the back part, our last science lab that we will remodel. With that, we'll have a full functioning lab, as you can see here, so those teachers can go back and forth utilizing that full facility for their classroom needs. Here's a typical timeline for you. As I mentioned, board will see those on January 27th, and we are looking in good shape of having everything done by August 25th for the students. So that is that for B. For D, on this piece, we have a roof repair or replacement on Evans. This is estimated around $267,000, and this would start during the summer of 2025 and follow the same timeline. Those are the resolutions that are before you.
Make a motion to approve?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion or questions for Dave about these items? If not, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. Next is an action item for an OHS elevator in the media center.
Yes, Mr. Deitch is going to join me here shortly here for this. This will be obviously this is the media center elevator bid. I'll let Mr. Deitch talk about this piece.
So we're looking at replacing the CTE elevator. We got two bids on that, one from
McGinnis.
yeah.
McGinnis is one.
But anyway, it ended up being $148,000. So that would be 2 out of the 3 elevators we're looking at replacing over the next 3 years. So I guess we'd recommend that the board approve that.
Probably the following year, we'll be bringing back Evans to you to look at doing a similar project with them.
Okay. We'll group some of these together too. The next one is the OHS cafeteria floor.
So the cafeteria floor, we looked at a couple options there, either renovation or putting a new terrazzo over that. And renovating the current terrazzo was by far a lot cheaper. And we got two bids from two companies out of Des Moines, Schilling and Dario Leonarduzzi. And they feel very confident that they can go in there and clean up, in between those lines, those joints, and then fix those pit areas that down on the north end towards that entrance. I guess I'd recommend that the board approve their bid of $47,900.
And then next on the agenda, we have the Wilson parking lot asphalt.
Okay, Wilson parking lot, we looked at it and decided it was a lot cheaper, this route, repairing the holes we have. We got 3 or 4 holes in there that aren't bad yet, but that definitely need some repair work. Norris Asphalt gave us a bid on that of $27,000 some $100. I would ask the board to approve that.
Okay.
The next item on our agenda is our athletic furniture and our OHS conference tables for that. With that, we have about $13,000 of furniture for our gymnasium area as a foyer as you come into the gym. And then the last piece of that, of the total of the 21,000, is additional conference tables for our high school, along with chairs. And if you haven't had a chance to see our admin office lately, I really encourage you. You'll be very, very impressed with the area that we have now for our students and staff.
Next is the athletic sideline equipment.
All right. Bo's going to join me on this one. Now, as we have a plethora of items under here, just to outfit our new competition gym, from the chairs to the competition scoreboard and sideline equipment. So I'll let Bo take over.
Yep. So as Dave was saying, this is to outfit our new competition gymnasium. Essentially, if you were to take our gym and dump it upside down, this is the stuff that would fall out that isn't included in the original bid with the building, but is essential to game day and our programs. So first off, we have 3 scorer tables and 72 sideline chairs. The idea is to have 1 scorer table in our auxiliary gym for lower level games, and then utilize 2 scorers tables in our varsity gym, 1 for our scorers, and then another for potentially media. And then along with that is 72 sideline chairs. The scorer tables and sideline chairs will all be branded with Ottumwa logos, etc. Moving on to our training room, as you can see, there's a rendering of a athletic training table. So we will have three training tables, a hydroculator, and then an ice machine. Hydroculators for treatments of they're heating pads that sit in basically boiling hot water all day, and you pull it out and pre and post game for treatments, get muscles loose, things like that. On court equipment, we have the shoot away gun. So this is an automatic rebounder. Coaches and student athletes can set up for drills. 3 volleyball net reels, and then floor coverings. The floor coverings are going to be pretty essential when we host dances, potentially graduation, anything else that we host in the gym to protect our new floor. And then lastly is our gymnasium technology. So the ScoreVision software and hardware, and then also the huddle cameras. So we will need 1 huddle camera in each of the gyms. So the main competition gym, and then also the side auxiliary gym. And then the ScoreVision software will be for the video boards in both gyms as well. And that's the interface that's completely customizable. It's going to be awesome for advertisements, for scorekeeping, player promotions, things like that. We're going to have the largest high school video board in the state, so it's going to be awesome to hopefully be able to outfit it with a system like ScoreVision.
Brandon and Bo have worked with multiple vendors, getting various quotes on each of those items that we have had, so.
Okay, and then the last item on this list is SBRC application.
And I might recommend, it probably would make sense to maybe have a motion to approve the items up to this point and then approve this separately.
Yeah, because mine is totally different.
Sounds good. Okay, so then that would be a motion for E, F, H, I, J.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion, a second. Any questions for Dave or Bo on that information? If not, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion passes. And so then now, SBRC application with John.
Yeah, because I'm sure you're all wondering what our SBRC stands for. It is a School Budget Review Committee. This is a statutory requirement. We ask them for spending authority for certain items. It doesn't give us any more money or any allocation. It just takes the calculation that they use from the state, like the number of students you have times the cost per pupil. That's how much you can spend. This adds to it, and it's because of special circumstances. The three that they give us for is when you have increasing enrollment. So we had increasing enrollment this year, and that money is a year behind. So this authorizes us basically to spend the money we need to this year, knowing that we'll get it next year. It also gives us, we request authority for students that are open enrolled out that were not on the district's prior count. So this is for kind of kids that fall in between count dates where they show up one year, they're open enrolled out to another district. But we haven't gotten any money yet for them, but we're writing checks to that other district. So this just gives us the authority to do that before we get ours. And then the last one is you can request money for additional funds spent on English language learner instruction for students served beyond 5 years. And this one, I'll go over the first one. For increasing enrollment, we're requesting $85,303 of spending authority. The second one for open enrolled out students not included on a prior year count is $481,681. And the EL, we don't ask for authority there. We've maintained a carry forward balance of ELL funds. What helps us is that we're a large EL school, so we've got some economies of scale in our favor, and we haven't spent all of the monies in prior years, and we're working through a carryover, so we don't need to request additional authority. We've got plenty at this time. So that's an explanation of it, and what we'd be looking for is just any questions if the board has them. If not, just an approval to make that request to the SBRC for additional spending authority.
Make a motion, we approve the application.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All those in favor, raise your right hand. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Next is superintendent report.
Thanks, Christina. Don't have a lot of things, but one thing I wanted to mention is had an opportunity to go to the chorus and orchestra concert yesterday, the high school one, and it was just it was an amazing concert, and what was a great crowd, and just really put you in the holiday season. And one of the things I would encourage people to think about this week is we have a chorus concert at our middle school. It's 5 through 9. That is on Wednesday night, and that starts at 6:30. So if you want to hear some great music and get in the holiday season, I would recommend that. And then I think the only other thing is just wishing everybody, the public, our board, our audience today, they have a wonderful holiday season. And I hope everybody gets a chance to have some downtime and relaxation. So that's all I have.
Next is board member topics. I have one thing. I don't know for sure who's all responsible for the Bulldog Giving Tree, but our family participated in that this year, and I thought it was just an amazing, amazing event. I think I read on Facebook that Ottumwa schools adopted 110 students, and everybody found a match and was able to get gifts. And I saw on Snapchat some of the gifts being delivered today. So whoever works on that, I think that's amazing, and our family really enjoyed participating. So thank you to whoever does that. Anything else? Okay, if there's nothing else, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. All right, we're adjourned.